Hello, I am Mac, at least for today, and everything's going to be okay. Today we're going to be discussing when the third expedition is going to begin. We've discussed this before, but we're still waiting on it, and I've got several theories and ideas as to when we can expect the third expedition to finally get here. First of all, we've just had the Prisms update. So, one thing I know for certain is that Hello Games can't start the third expedition until they're done bug fixing for the Prisms update. Every time Hello Games does a named update, a fairly big update that adds new content, they have to do several bug fixing patches. And of course, Prisms is no exception. We've already gotten one small bug patch, and we've got another big one coming. There's an experimental patch on PC right now on their experimental database that has almost 10 fixes in it. So we're definitely going to be getting that one before we get the expeditions. The third expedition. So that Hello Games has to make sure they've fixed all the bugs in the Prisms update before we can have another expedition. That might be an indicator of when it will be, since we've had one small bug patch and we're getting a pretty large one. That large one might be the last one. Hello Games, when they do patches for a new update, they they usually do a few small ones, and then they'll try to finish all the bugs with one really big patch. And the current big patch that they've gotten experimental could be the last one. And it's even possible, my hope is that we will get the third expedition this week, like by Friday. And it's possible that they would do the third expedition as a part of that that large bug patch. Like they would fix all the remaining bugs that they can, and also go ahead and add the third expedition. But that's kind of an overly optimistic view. I've got a couple more theories that I and others have that are less optimistic and probably more realistic. But my most optimistic theory is that by the end of this week, by Friday, we will get the third expedition. But that's not as likely. It's a bit too optimistic, probably. Another theory is that Hello Games may wait until the current quicksilver items have been unlocked. So right now, we are working on a group of quicksilver items, and we just finished tier 1, so we've got 2 tiers left. So over the weekend, we pretty much unlocked 1 tier, and so the rest of this week, it's Monday right now, the rest of this week it may take to unlock up to tier 3, and it might even take the weekend. So if for some reason Hello Games is waiting until the current group of quicksilver items are unlocked, they may not do the update until after that, which would take it until next week, because the quicksilver items probably won't be unlocked until the weekend. But it might they might finish unlocking before the weekend, but since Hello Games don't know for sure how quickly we're going to unlock it, they may be planning. And the reason I say that is because in the Beachhead expedition, we were unlocking a special item, the Myth Beacon, and since they had to use the Quicksilver items unlock as a part of the expedition, if they do that again, they can't have other Quicksilver items being unlocked. They need the current Quicksilver items to finish unlocking, and then they can have a special item. And the reason I think there might be another special item is that it could be the station override device. So I discussed before that we need a station override for the space stations, and I and others think that maybe the next expedition will involve the space station cores. There's data in the files for space stations becoming corrupted or damaged, and it might be a part of the expedition that something bad happens and space stations get corrupted and we have to fix one as one of our objectives for the expedition. And the override could be a quicksilver item that we have to unlock as a part of the expedition, much like how we unlocked the myth beacon. So that's what I'm thinking, is we have to finish unlocking the current quicksilver items so that they can use quicksilver items unlock as a part of the third expedition, which would mean next week sometime we might get the expedition. Now, a third theory that a friend of mine has is that currently in the files of the game, there are 4 groups of quicksilver items. We're currently working on one of the groups, and there are 3 more groups that we could potentially get. And so my friend is thinking that we've got to wait till all 4 of those quicksilver item groups get unlocked in order for us to have the third expedition, which would mean it would take all of June for sure, because it takes at least a week to unlock a group of quicksilver items. If they do all 4 groups, it'll take all of June, and then sometime in July we would get the third expedition. Obviously, I hope this theory is not correct. This is probably the most pessimistic theory, that we would have to actually wait till July before we get another expedition. And so the third expedition would be in July and would probably go for all of July. And then in August, we would get the big anniversary, the 5th anniversary of No Man's Sky update in August. I hope that's wrong and we actually get 2 more expeditions. I was hoping for one in June and one in July, and then get the anniversary update in August. But it is a possibility, and we should consider the most optimistic and the most pessimistic possibilities. So in summary, those are my 3 theories. One, that we just have to wait till they finish bug fixing, which could finish this week, and we could get the third expedition as early as Friday. Second theory is that we've got to wait till all of the current quicksilver items are unlocked, which could take until this weekend, and which would mean we have to wait till next week to get the third expedition. And the final theory is that we have to wait for all the current quicksilver items in the files to be unlocked, and that would take us until July. So those are the 3 main possibilities, I think. This week, next week, or July. So anyway, those are my thoughts about when the expedition could be. When do you think the expedition will be? The third expedition will begin? What do you hope? Which theory do you think is most likely? And let me know in the comments, and I will see you next time. I have been Mac. Thank you for joining me for a day. And remember, everything's going to be okay. Special thanks to my monthly supporters, Shannon and Jeremy, Shell Owens, JSpot51, Meg Payton. Thank you so much for helping me continue to make daily content.